you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard, things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up or why there's continued inflation or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand, especially yields. The most important thing to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. These are volatile times in the stock market.
Market's up 200, then it's up 800, it's up 700.
How do you get the facts when investing?
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. If you're confused about the stock market, get unconfused. Go to my site, philsgang.com, and listen to my radio show every weekday at 3 Eastern. What is the market going to do? We know exactly what the market's going to do.
Phil's got the answers at philsgang.com.
There's no need for you to be losing money.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. Want good investing advice from someone you can trust? Listen to Phil Grandy.
With what's going on today in the economy, especially in the stock market, it gets really complicated, but it doesn't have to be. My job is to make it simple, to get through the fog. And I think I do that, and I think I do a pretty good job of that, especially why you should be buying a stock, or why you should be in the market, or not in the market, or shorting.
Invest wisely with the knowledge of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com.
What, are you nuts? Coffee's up 92%, lumber's up 67%, heating oil, 60%, gasoline 55%. I understand why you guys are telling me raise my rates here at Phil's Gang, but we haven't raised our rates since 2001. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I'm not going to raise my rates. Our membership's been $39.95 since 2001, and for a good reason. So that you have enough room that when you do make money here at Phil's Gang, and you will, because you're going to learn how to short stocks, that there's enough room to send some money to St. Jude. That's why we never raised our price. And that's why we give you good value. So, you want to continue with good value, good information, be on the right side of the market? Join my gang, philsgang.com, where the price has not moved, where we fight inflation. philsgang.com.
What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. Phil Grandy has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free. If anything, during that 10-day period, you're going to learn how the market really works. You're going to find information that you never had before. You're going to walk away and go, I didn't know that. So join my gang for 10 days free, philsgang.com. And you're also going to learn how to make money when the market goes down. It's kind of silly just sitting there with the market going down, hoping. Why hope when you can sell short and make money? Either way, you make money when the market goes up, you make money when the market goes down. That's the benefit of Phil's Gang. You make money.
Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level.
philsgang.com. Sign up free for 10 days.
Stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
The Dow Jones Industrial Average is now riding a 12-day win streak, its longest in more than 6 years.
You remember he says that? Listen to what he's saying again.
The Dow Jones Industrial Average is now riding a 12-day win streak, its longest in more than 6 years.
Now, that's his job. The fake business news network, that's their job, to make you feel good, to make you feel a sense of euphoria, that everything's going to be fine, that it's, everything's going to be just positive.
We're about ready to make it 12 positive sessions for the Dow in a row, multi-year streak. The record is 13, set back in 1987.
Here we go again. Remember every day before we had that November crash, went down 38%. Remember every day, it'd go up just a tiny bit. All-time new high. Go up a tiny bit again next day. We had like 35 days in a row. Here they go again. Market's going nowhere. You get these little rallies. Oh, all-time new high. See, they're not telling you the cancer that is underneath this market. This market's in deep trouble. But nobody wants to hear it. Like I tell my members every day, this market's going to have one hell of a crash. It's been delayed. And I'm going to explain why. But it's going to happen. It's all going to be because of the dollar. But see, they'll never tell you that. They don't want to tell you about the dollar. It's amazing how they can mask what is going on and not be truthful. Because then people aren't prepared. Example, people are buying stocks right now, stocks that we got into like Apple and Nvidia and Microsoft, Goldman Sachs, stocks that were up anywhere from 40% to 120%, 80%, stocks we got in real early that now we're getting out of or taking profits. We're going to put a little money in them, keep a little money in them, and we'll keep riding them until they don't work anymore. But for someone to jump in today, listening to that kind of attitude, that's what's going to happen. A person's going to jump in today. Most people lose money in the stock markets, they get in right at the top, and that's what's happening. Same thing. We saw this in 2008. It's the same thing over and over. Dot-com, right before the dot-com crash, everyone was jumping into the dot-com. That's what's happening now. Let me tell you what's going on with the dollar. Most people don't even know what the dollar's doing. They don't even know the relationship between the dollar and the market. All they know is they look at a chart and they see the right-hand column with numbers. And as long as those numbers keep going up, they're happy. As soon as the number pulls back, they panic and get out. And for those poor souls who do buy and hold, you'll never win with buy and hold, never. So here's what's going on. So he comes out today, they're coming out, they're all excited, right? But the dollar is going to take this market down. Dollar always does. When you have a strong economy, you have a strong dollar. When you have a weak economy, you have a weak dollar. Now, if you look at the chart, now I don't know if you can see this or not, but if you're following me on Instagram, Facebook, Rumble, Apple, YouTube, you could. Okay, if you're not, you can catch it tonight as the show is archived. On July 28th, we had this rally in the dollar. You can see it. But something happened on September 28, 2022. The dollar started to drop. And it hasn't stopped. So the dollar's been going sideways for a while, but she's going to drop again, and big. And that's when the market will crash. Because, see, it all starts with deficits. Deficits cause inflation. When you're spending too much money we don't have, then that's a deficit. That causes the inflation. See, when rates increase to fight that inflation, then that dollar drops due to that fight of inflation. But where we really get clobbered is this. Because we never raise rates high enough or fast enough, and for good reason. According to, of course, the Fed and the president, they want to keep inflation. Because with inflation, because we're broke, they can pay down the debt to China. That's pretty stupid. So they're paying down the debt with the dollar devaluating because our debt's in dollars. So the dollar devaluates, so it drops our debt. But that's at a sacrifice. We don't win with that because we're not taking down inflation fast enough, because we're not raising rates fast enough, because they don't want that. They don't want they want some of this inflation to stay behind to help them pay down the debt. And it gets worse, because what they are doing in the meantime, while they're ever so slightly moving these rates a quarter, they're spending 20 times that. See, the dollar, think about this. The dollar is a catalyst, and it's going to take down the market. It always does. And we're going to take out that infamous October 2022 low you hear of all the time. Now, if you look at the dollar, it rallied from July 2021 to September 2022. It started to fall from September 22 down to now, where it is, because of budget deficits and the trade deficits getting worse, all associated with this weak dollar. Now, the problem is these deficits, $2 trillion for the deficit, $1 trillion for the trade deficit, called twin deficits, are killing us. Because again, the government's broke. They have to keep printing money. And that's where our problem is. And there's severe consequences to that. Every time they print money, remember, rates go up to fight inflation. Now, when the Fed rate gets higher, see, this is what they won't tell you. When the Fed rate gets higher than the other central banks, like now, our Fed rate is higher than most European countries. China. Well, when your rate gets higher than their rate, what do? They start dumping dollars. Then there's the most important, what they call carriage trade. That's a big fancy name given by fancy pants on Wall Street. Simple. Carriage trade. Make them sound important. It's just a bunch of Wall Street cowboys who are very, very extremely wealthy. And all they do is they go and they'll do a deal. Let's say they go to the bank and they can borrow money at 1.5% when rates are at 0. Then they'll go buy a bond at 5%. They make that spread. Remember all remember the 3 banks that went down. Remember what happened to them? They're doing the same thing. And of course, when interest rates went up, what happened to the banks? They went broke. Well, what's happening now is rates continue to go up, and our rates are higher than China, Fed rates, and most European countries, they're starting to dump dollars. That's why you're seeing the dollar drop from September 28th, 2022 to down where we are now. And you can see we had a big rally before that, but now the dollar is in trouble. So remember, inflation keeps prolonging we keep prolonging this cool off of inflation because we don't raise these rates fast enough or high enough. And the consequences, as they say, the most severe consequences of this dollar, going down and keep devaluating the dollar, is the dumping of the dollar by the European countries and China. And that's severe. We'll talk more about that. Nobody else talks about it, but I'll tell you the truth.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. You can be a successful investor in the stock market by knowing what the market is going to do.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. God, you go nuts listening to these shows on TV, Kramer, any of them. I mean, they're giving you total garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. One day they tell you, buy this stock. Next day, don't buy this stock. Then you have two people on their show, one guy saying buy it, the other guy says don't buy it. So the question is, what the hell do you do? Well, we don't have questions here at Phil's Gang. And they never have to ask the question, what do you think the market's going to do? My members always know what the market's going to do because they've learned how to follow the money. That's right, follow the money. You don't follow fundamentals, you follow the money. And what is that? That's volume. That's the buyers and the sellers. And the other thing, you got to learn how to sell a stock as well as buy a stock.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Go to my podcast, YouTube, and Rumble every day. That's philsgang.com.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from. All that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
Want good investing advice from someone you can trust? Listen to Phil Grandy.
With what's going on today in the economy, especially in the stock market, it gets really complicated, but it doesn't have to be. My job is to make it simple, to get through the fog. And I think I do that, and I think I do a pretty good job of that, especially why you should be buying a stock, or why you should be in the market, or not in the market, or shorting.
Invest wisely with the knowledge of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, listen to this.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I get so tired of listening to the same garbage every day, listening to the fake business news network telling you why you should buy this stock, why you should buy, and they're always wrong. Join my gang, philsgang.com, free for 10 days. You're going to learn when to buy a stock and when not to buy a stock. Hey, years ago it was different. You could buy a stock based on fundamentals. You could buy a stock based on earnings. You could buy a stock based on PE ratios. Those days are gone. That ended with QE. That ended when they financially engineered the market in 2008. Gone. Now you got to follow the money. And we have the knowledge because we have the chart. Pro 2 color-coded chart tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to run like hell.
For a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Get the truth, get the knowledge, and understand how the market really works.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day? That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Bill, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on Earth. I know this, but it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
philsgang.com.
You're not a regular listener to Phil's Gang? What, are you nuts? Listen to Phil Grandy and check out philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
The core measures are still too high. There's a reason for that, I think, in that if it were not for the remaining ARPA money that hasn't been spent, money from the Inflation Reduction Act, which is substantial in terms of manufacturing projects all over the country, the Infrastructure Act leading to new projects, I think the Fed would be done.
Wait a minute.
Fed would be done
Inflation
right
Reduction
now.
Act is causing inflation?
Yeah, it sure does cause inflation. My God, they're printing money. And what they're doing with that money, remember, they're building ski areas, for God's sakes, golf courses. What do you think? Of course that's inflation. Are you kidding me? See, you got to understand the market, okay, as long as we keep spending, we have deficits. Deficits are the main cause of inflation. So in other words, you keep spending, and that's what he does. We have no money, so Biden keeps on spending. So we have to, now we end up with owing money we don't have. So now what do we have to do? We have to print money to pay the deficit, to cool inflation. We raise rates. So every time you raise rates to cool inflation, then the dollar drops due to fighting inflation. And when the dollar keeps dropping and dropping, you run into big trouble. And they don't want to tell you this. And if you just go look at the dollar, you'll see how the dollar's been dropping from September 28, 2022 to today. Now, we're going sideways now, but we're lower than we were on September 28th, so our trend is down. And now this dollar's even going to get worse, and that's when this market crashes, and then we're going to go right through that October low. Because of all these darn deficits. And we also have, don't forget, the trade deficits. We have two of them. I mean, think about what we do. This is insane. And remember, every time this dollar drops, you got all these countries dumping their dollars because our Fed rate is higher than their own Fed rate, so they dump the dollars. And the carriage trade dumps their dollars because their balance sheets get weak. They dump their dollars. Same thing. Remember the three banks that went down? Okay, for the same reason. Remember the three banks, SVB and Signature and First Republic? Remember when they went down for the same exact reason? They were buying treasuries, and then when interest rates were going up to fight inflation, all of a sudden they weren't making spreads, so they crashed. They crashed. And so what we're doing now is all our countries now. Every time we're fighting all this inflation, now these countries are dumping their dollar in the carriage trade. And that hurts us. Listen to this.
U.S. banks have over $2.2 trillion in unrealized losses that stem from the sudden interest rate hikes.
If any kind of stress comes along and you're a bank and you have to offload those bonds, that's where the problems come.
Yeah, but they lied to us and said the stress test they all passed. They didn't. They gave them the questions to pass the stress test. So you got all these banks that have been holding treasuries, that have been raising rates to fight inflation, that now they're losing money in all their treasuries. And so to prove that, when you had the first three regional banks go down, what'd they do? They wouldn't let them go down. See, this is why everybody has this false sense that the market's never going to go down again. Because in 2008, what did they do? They propped the banks up. What happened when they turned around and they had the three banks? SVB, Signature, and First Republic go down. First thing they did is put together this bank term funding program of $2 trillion to support these banks to prop them up. And there's another 177 regional banks ready to file bankruptcy, but they stopped them by propping them up. See, and more banks are going to go down because the more we play this game, we won't pay off. We won't go into a recession. We won't pay our debt off. We sit back and use the inflation to help pay the debt off. That you can't keep doing that. It's not enough. You're not raising rates fast enough. So the dollar's going to keep going down and down. So keep watching the dollar and you'll know the market's going to crash. But they won't stop spending. That's the problem. See, this all started, as I said, the dollar started to crash in September of 2022 because by then we've had Biden for, what, a year? And remember what he did. He starts spending right out of the gate, and we have no money. His monetary policies were stupid. Think about this. The Green New Deal, they're budgeting $93 trillion over 10 years. We're broke. We gave in Ukraine $113 billion. This new Green Deal, we're training people. It's costing us $2 to $7 million so they know how to make a battery. It'd be all right if they're getting $100,000 a year pay, but that's not what they're getting. They're getting less pay than an auto worker. And then the American COVID Rescue Plan. We had no money for that. It was the biggest socialist plan in U.S. history. Remember sending out checks to everybody, and kids would receive $3,200 a piece, and daycare was free, and you don't have to pay your rent. Then the next one was the Inflation Reduction Act, which we didn't reduce any inflation. What a lie. We spent $2 million on one ski area in Iowa. We spent $2 million in another ski area, I think it was in Montana. I'm not sure of that. We spent $2 million on a golf course. We're building these electric ferry boats at $50 million a piece. A ferry boat at $50 million a piece. What are you, nuts? $50 million on bird sanctuary. Then we sent $3 million for the LGBTQ museum. $200 million for the Gender Equity and Equality Action Fund. Man, I got to write a check for that one, huh? $7.5 million to study the domestic radicalization phenomena. What the hell is that? And $3.6 million to build a hiking trail in the name of Michelle Obama. We don't have that money. So what do? We have to go print it. What does that do? Creates inflation. It's just and then the dollar goes down because we have to raise rates to fight inflation. And the dollar is going to take the October low up. But nobody believes it. Everybody's in this stage of euphoria. And I'll tell you why when we get back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Phil's gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on Earth. I know this, but it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
philsgang.com. Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed, because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere, because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG. Try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy. Is your business prepared to respond to any emergency in the workplace? Well, you better be. Let over 30 years of law enforcement experience go to work for you. Boyd Investigative Group is here for all your business security needs. I know. I use them. They're terrific. Call today for your free confidential consultation. 941-724-4535. That's 941-724-4535. Or visit them on the website, BoydInvestigativeGroup.com.
License number A1900020.
When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grandy has some sound reasons you should join Phil's gang.
You know, when I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com. Want good investing advice from someone you can trust? Listen to Phil Grandy.
With what's going on today in the economy, especially in the stock market, it gets really complicated, but it doesn't have to be. My job is to make it simple, to get through the fog. And I think I do that, and I think I do a pretty good job of that, especially why you should be buying a stock, or why you should be in the market or not in the market, or shorting.
Invest wisely with the knowledge of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Our team is comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. Phil's Gang has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. You don't need to be a seasoned investor to benefit from the Phil's Gang platform, no matter what level of investor you are. Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action, avoid market pitfalls, and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
There's a lot of data out there that suggests that the U.S. economy is carrying on stronger for longer. And that may well be the case. Recession can be delayed because of all the events that have happened in this cycle, especially all the stimulus that the major economies have gotten post the COVID pandemic. That will buy you time. It won't help you to avoid a recession.
That's right. All these programs I just told you about, the Omnibus Bill, the Inflation Reduction Act, all that stimulus, when you broke and you start doing that stuff, and you have a deficit and you got to print money, and to pay for this, and that printing of money, inflation starts going up, and then your dollar drops, and then you got to raise rates again and raise rates again because you're not going up fast enough. And then as that rate gets beyond the rates of Europe, Japan, whatever, then they dump their dollars, as I told you a moment ago, and so doesn't the carriage trade dump their dollars. Again, for those, carriage trade is just a fancy name put on by Wall Street for a bunch of cowboys on Wall Street who go around. If they go to a bank and they'll buy money for 1.5% when we had zero rates, and then they go buy a bond for 5% and they make a spread. But they're all dumping now, and more are we going to keep dumping. And so Powell comes on and says, and again, this gal's right, I don't care. All that stuff has delayed a crash. And then we had more delays because the euphoria out there caused by the fake business news network, I mean, they're the ones that are creating an atmosphere of euphoria because they want to mask, okay, what's going on. And they want to increase the consumer confidence so the consumer keeps going out and buying and buying and buying, gets more in debt. And soon, the retail investor, like now, has a sense of prosperity and hope and optimism. And they really believe there's going to be no recession. There's going to be a soft landing. Because here's why. They've seen it. The Fed came in and bailed out the 2008 financial crash. And then what happened again? On March 2023, the three banks went down. Sun Valley Bank, Regional, and First Republic. What did they do? Bailed it out with $2 trillion called the Bank Term Funding Program. So people are at a point, the market's never going to go down again. And once you get everybody on one side of the boat, what happens to a boat? You're out there in a boat, rowboat, and everybody gets on one side. You drown. Well, you're going to drown in this market unless you know how to sell short. Now, everybody keeps saying, well, you keep saying the market's going to drop. I don't see it. But we're still buying stocks. We caught all the tech stocks are up anywhere from 40% to 120%. We caught all the bank stocks up between 15 and 30%. We caught all the leisure stocks, the airlines. Those are up about 15, 20%. We caught all the stocks. We just don't say the market's going to crash, let's not buy stocks. We stay in them until they don't work anymore. And then we get ready to sell short, which you don't do. And that's the difference. That's why 85% of you lose money, and we don't, because we can short. But going back to what's going to take this market down, and I know you don't believe it, because everybody feels the same. This will never happen again. And they're using as evidence the 2008 bank bailout, the 2023 bank bailout, and all you hear from the fake business network, everything's great. And now Powell comes out, this moron, the same moron who said inflation is transitory. Listen to what he says today.
The staff now has a noticeable slowdown in growth starting later this year.
The staff. You want to see the staff. My shoes are older than the staff.
The staff now has a noticeable slowdown in growth starting later this year in the forecast, but given the resilience of the economy recently, they are no longer forecasting a recession.
Are you kidding me? You talk about dangerous, but yet the market's only up 27 points. How come? How come? Because the big institutions aren't buying. Because when you look at a stock today, the valuations are insane. The most popular stocks are nuts. Tech stock, valuation, PE, 31. No institution's going to pay $31 for every $1 of earnings. They're not going to buy the S&P, pay $20 for every $1 earnings in the S&P. Are you nuts? Not going to happen because they know what I've been just talking about. The dollar is going to keep collapsing because they're going to keep running up debt at money they're going to keep on spending, and they don't have the money to pay the deficit from that spending. If we had the money and spent it, that's one thing. That'd be great. Then we'd have a strong dollar. But I swear to you, if you keep watching the dollar and it goes down, you're going to know when this crash is going to happen. Also, what you're going to look on a chart where you have the 10 and 2 year Treasury, and then you have on top of that the Wilshire was it 2005 5,000, which is now you put all the 5,000 publicly traded companies on a chart, and then put on that. On the chart, subtract the difference between your 10-year and 2-year, and you'll see a 10-2 inversion, and then you see on a chart how there's a big spread between them. That's screaming inflation. This guy doesn't know what the hell he's doing. And if you follow him and the fake business network, you're going to get crushed. Soft landing. Are you kidding me? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Listen, there's going to be a high probability, okay, of a dollar dropping. Very high. Because remember what the media is doing right now. the fake business media. What are they telling us? All bad news is excellent news now. It's all good news. Everything's good news. But it isn't, because this is the highest probability we ever had of a huge crash. We're talking between 40 and 60%, and people keep saying, no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Oh, it's going to happen. But you just stop trading? Stop investing? No, we didn't. How many times did I say to you before the banks went up, why don't you join my gang 10 days, follow us on the banks? Boom! Banks went up 20, 30%. How many times did I say, hey, join the gang for 10 days free. We're going to start trading the oil stocks. Why don't you can follow us in Schlumberger or the banks. I said the same thing. Why don't you join the gang for 10 days and you can follow us with Bank of America. We do that all the time. But we know the market's going to crash. Because it doesn't matter to us. And obviously we don't buy and hold. So we got this infamous October 2022 low. We're going to have, in this crash, because of the dollar going to collapse, and it's going to collapse. Because remember what's happened, what else is delaying this market from crashing? You got the euphoria, okay, from the bailout in 2008. You got the euphoria that they bailed us out again in 2023. And again, you got this euphoria that's been, a consensus has now been created that the market will never crash. The Fed will come in with a bailout. And look at the proof. As I said, 2008. Then you got the 2008 to November 2026. Remember all that 22? You got all that QE, trillions of liquidity propping up the market, zero rate, stock buybacks. Who believes them? People never think the market's ever going to go down again. Who would think so? If you bring a guy down from the moon and you show him all this, you go, oh boy, I'm going to get in this market. This market will never come down. And that's how people are feeling. We got right now 177 regional banks that were halted from going into bankruptcy because of that new funding, the bank term funding program. No wonder people, this is exactly when the market crashes. What are you nuts? Exactly when it happens.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, I've been doing this business of trading over 55 years. God, they make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be. The best way to learn is to follow me, my actual investments. That's right. When I buy a stock, you follow me. Do exactly what I do. That's the best way to learn.
Check out the free 10-day trial. Learn more at philsgang.com.
Be my co-pilot at philsgang.com. Do what I do.
That's philsgang.com. You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Phil Grandy has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free. If anything, during that 10-day period, you're going to learn how the market really works. You're going to find information that you never had before. You're going to walk away and go, I didn't know that. So join my gang for 10 days free, philsgang.com. And you're also going to learn how to make money when the market goes down. It's kind of silly just sitting there when the market going down, hoping. Why hope when you can sell short and make money? Either way, you make money when the market goes up, you make money when the market goes down. That's the benefit of Phil's Gang. you make money.
Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level.
philsgang.com. Sign up free for 10 days.
Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Good afternoon, America. Now, listen, this is Steve here at philsgang.com, and I just, sometimes you want to go out and you want to hand your money to a stockbroker and say, hey, can you invest my money for me? Because I don't have time to, take care of this. I don't really know what I'm doing. And, of course, the broker is going to be like, sure, I'll take care of that for you, no problem. And that's great, right? Because it gives you like a bit of freedom and some luxury in your life. However, what happens is they take your account, they shuffle it down under a pile of about 500 people, and then the stock market goes into a crash. And guess what? Your account, your broker who was going to help you, has you at the bottom of that pile, and now they're not going to help you until the market has finally crashed and you've lost almost half of everything that you've worked so hard to gain. If you want to find out how to do that on your own and not deal with the stockbrokers, philsgang.com. That's www.philsgang.com. Give us a call at 877-600-4264. We'll see you on the charts. Back to you, Phil.
Okay, Steve, thank you. So here's my point. We bought Home Depot when my color-coded chart turned green, on June 20th. It started to go up on May 15th. But we didn't get into June 20th because it was red from May 15th up to, June 20th. Even though it's going up, we don't get in. Why? Because it's red. When it's red, it's telling you there's not enough money going in. So if you go and get in, all of a sudden the stock could drop. The point is, look, we know the market's going to crash. I know that so deep in my gut that it's going to crash because I've been doing this for so many years, 52 years, and I see all the noise. We see all kinds of noise before the market crashes, that it's not going to crash. And here Powell's coming out, there's not even going to be inflation. Are you kidding? He's right. We're not going to have a recession. He's right. No, we're going to have stagflation. He's such an idiot. When you have the slow growth that we're having, And we haven't seen, look, we got terrible inflation. It's going to get worse. They're going to keep raising rates. We have terrible slow growth. But when you start getting a high unemployment, that's the key right there. And where are we going to get the unemployment out? From all the construction. We haven't got all those layoffs yet. And what about all the manufacturing? For God's sakes, production, industrial production, is at had the biggest drop since December 22. December 2022. Manufacturing's at a 14-year low. We just got our numbers in from New York Empire Manufacturing and Philly Fed Manufacturing, worse than ever. Both negative. Unbelievable. Bankruptcies have increased in 6 months. First 6 months up 23%. Small business bankruptcies up 111% in the first 6 months. Oh, I see. We're not going to have a recession. Everything's great now, okay? But here's the big one. National debt. Our payment on our national debt has gone from $300 billion to $600 billion. Where do we get that? You got to print it because we don't have it. That means more deficits. More deficits. Every time we get a deficit, we got to print it to pay for it. And every time we pay for it, the dollar goes down. Every time we fight inflation, the dollar goes down. And we're not done fighting inflation. Are you kidding me? We haven't had the inflation from the last round of rate hikes. Remember, every rate hike, they went up 25 basis points. It takes a year to 18 months before it affects the economy. We haven't felt that inflation. No, rates are going to go back up. And because this guy just won't stop spending. Another thing, commercial real estate. No recession? The commercial real estate we got right now, just in the next 3 months, 155 billion troubled commercial real estate assets. They're just handing their keys back. Durable goods. That's discretionary spending. We haven't seen durable good orders like on TVs and appliances and vans. The last time we see it this bad was in 2020. Are you kidding? This is crazy. Now, remember, 493 of the S&P 500 stocks have little to no gains. Little to no gains. The rally we're in now is up 20%, and only out of the, what was it, Willie? The rally we're having right now went up about 20%, and only it was 20%, but that came from 10 stocks. 10 out of the S&P 500, out of 500 stocks, only came from 10. Everybody's lying to you. But wait a minute. But we still bought Home Depot. I'm not sitting here by ganging on and I say, well, gee, the market's going to crash. We're not going to buy. We bought that. So Home Depot is up. I don't know. Willie, give me a number here. Home Depot, we got in around 298, if I'm right. And it's now around 329. What is that? So it's a 9% return. We bought that. What's wrong with that? Coke, I got my members in the Coke. And then we got stopped out the first time. We got back in. And Coke, we did a swing trade. The swing trade went from about $59 to about where we are now, $63. So that's 7%. So again, we have J.P. Morgan. J.P. Morgan. We caught J.P. Morgan. We got that when nobody wanted it. We bought it 2 different places. But I'll give you the average on June 6th, June 7th. It was $138. Today it's $157. That's a nice, that's 13%. Goldman Sachs, I'll give you the average. We got in on average around 235 rather, and today it's at 356. 50%. I mean, I can go on and on. Oh, here's some of our stocks we bought. Look at the little banks. They're doing really well. Matter of fact, why don't you join the gang and follow us with ZION. It's a little regional bank. We bought KRE. We bought the basket of banks just a few days ago, about 4 or 5 days ago. They're going up nicely. Why don't you join the gang tonight? It's free for 10 days. And during the 10 days, why don't you follow myself, Steve, and Willie on KRE? Free. Free. Follow us. I'll show you how we do it. KRE. So we didn't say, well, let's not buy KRE because the market's going to crash. Another one we bought, okay, was Zion. Why don't you join the gang for the next 10 days and follow us on Zion? Zion's a perfect little trade. Now don't, because I'm saying that, this gets me upset. Somebody's going to buy it. They're not going to join the gang. And I'll read somewhere, I listened to Phil, I lost money. But they don't give you the other half of the story. I never joined the gang. Well, how the hell am I supposed to get in touch with you to tell you either get out of the stock or don't add or put stops in? That's pretty unfair. When I see that, I get so upset because when people aren't being honest. They should say, well, when Phil talks on the radio, I wait for a stock, and then I write it down because I'm a cheapskate, and then I can get a free stock from him, but I lost money. Well, you get what you pay for. Look, 10 days is free, and I always tell people, don't worry. If you don't stay with us after 10 days, that's okay. And if you take that knowledge and you're making money then off our knowledge, that's great. You haven't paid us? That's great. All we ask, send a little money to St. Jude, that's all. But my whole point here is if you keep listening to the fake business news networks, if you keep listening to these, Powell, he's a dope of a dope. I mean, this guy is head of the dope club. And this guy is so stupid. He follows Biden around, okay, like a little puppy dog. He's not a man. He doesn't make decisions that would help us, the people. I'll guarantee you he was told to say there's no, because we're in an election year and things are looking bad for him because of all the stuff him and his son are doing. I'll guarantee he told Powell to come out and tell people, well, there's not going to be any inflation. There's not going to be a recession. Guarantee it. Look, and what we do is, most of all what we do is fun. We have fun at it, okay? So tonight, go to philsgang.com, click where it says get started. We'll have fun for 10 days. Check it out. See you in a chart.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.